What's good, everybody? It's your boy Nick Clark here. Breaking Bad concussion discussion. It's been a little bit since I've gone live, so I'd figure I'd jump on live here, chop it up, show a little bit of love, see if anyone had anything to say. So I'm gonna go share this here on Twitter real quick, see if anybody jumps on this bad boy. Kind of wanted to discuss Albert Bell. Versus Keith Hunter too as well, because while I don't necessarily think that may be the most competitive fight when it's all said and done, I think while it lasts, it's going to be a very entertaining fight. I'm going to wait for a few people to jump on the live stream here before I can discuss that specifically, but kind of deep dive into why I think that's more of an entertaining fight than I do anything. I have kind of an unpopular opinion, I guess you could say, about Keith Hunter. I shouldn't say unpopular. How do I know if it's unpopular? But I guess the comparison I may make may seem to ruffle some feathers, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Crispy Chris, what's up, my brother? Salute to you. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope things are well on the road. Hopefully safe in all your travels and things of that nature. If you have a chance to bet on it tomorrow, Albert Bell versus Keith Hunter, I'll be discussing that here in about a minute or so to see if anyone jumps on. I'm hoping that they drop props for us because as of right now, all we see are money lines for Keith Hunter, which are minus 2,000 to minus 3,000. And really, there's nothing we can do there. I personally will never give out like a parlay that's a bunch of mad juiced favorites just because I'm a little bit too careful for that, because you see what happens with Yoenis Tejas just last week, or even Tyree Jones, for example. So I appreciate you tuning in, man. So I'm excited to discuss that fight a little bit. Like I said earlier, I don't necessarily know if it's the most competitive fight, but it's definitely fun. Keith Hunter, he has a piston-like jab. His straight punches are very piston-like. If you guys don't know, Keith Hunter's actually the dude. If you've seen the video, I think this is what he's most well known for. It's on Twitter and YouTube, where the dude's trying to act tough in Vegas in the casino. And the caption's always like, professional boxer knocks out tough guy in Vegas or tough guy in casino. That's Keith Hunter. Yeah, that's Keith Hunter in that video, I actually come to find out. So he got a knockout too against I think it was Pedro Casasso, where he hit him with a punch and it busted his eye open, and the knockout got counted for a cut. So this is why BoxRec can be a little deceiving for some people. You saw this morning with Rima Ayadi, where Rima Ayadi fought Elif Nur Tehran this morning. Rima Ayadi is 11-0 and has one knockout. But if you go and watch the tape, the one knockout she has is via headbutt. So that's why it's important to watch, if you can watch tape. You don't always have to go that deep of a dive. But yeah, Chris, that's so I'm glad you saw that. I know a lot of people have seen that viral video. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it on Facebook. So Keith Hunter, the unpopular opinion, I don't want to call it unpopular because who knows who has this opinion about him. I think he almost has a Tommy Hearns style in the sense of how he's janky with his head movement and he throws piston punches. All of his punches are 1-2 straight down the pipe, super piston-like. Now, where he's nothing like Tommy Hearns or really, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, really any class boxer, is he has no feet. He tangles his feet, he crosses his feet, tangles his legs. As compared to Albert Bell, has great feet. Albert Bell almost has a Satan effect to his feet, to where he seems like he's gliding, where he seems like he's not moving, he's not planted on the earth at all. He just glides in and out of movements. Albert Bell's movements are incredible, man. Like, he very rarely exits on a straight line. He comes in different angles and different speeds too. One thing about Albert Bell is he comes in and feints you and he moves you out with different speeds, which I really appreciate. His defense can lack when he's exiting, when he drops his hands. Now, Keith Hunter is willing to get into a firefight. He's tough as hell. You saw against Rohan Polanco, he took a hellacious whooping. Hellacious. He actually tried Keith Hunter in the 6th round. A lot of people said it was an early stoppage, but it was only a matter of time, even with the 2 rounds left before Polanco got him out of there. His eye was swollen shut. Polanco was beating him up bad against the ropes. And afterwards, he let the emotions get the best of him, and he kind of threw a fit with the referee. And the referee, I think, did the best job he could in saving him, because it was only a matter of time before Polanco really hurt him. Now, with Albert Bell, he doesn't necessarily have the biggest punching power, but I think he has bigger punching power than his record may suggest. I think the 9 knockouts on his record, he's 24-0 or 27-0, one of the two. I think he pops a lot better than his punching suggests. I think he has a little bit more showmanship and showboating to him to where he can hurt opponents or maybe step through the gears and get his opponents out of there, but he chooses not to. I do question Albert Bell's gears. Again, I love his feet. I love his jab. I love how he fights behind his jab. He's very educated. His ring control is super educated. Keith Hunter, again, has really good 1-2 shots. He's dog. He's gritty as hell. He's tough. He's willing to get into the fire. He has a little bit of pop to him too, but he fights a lot on the back foot, and I feel like Albert Bell's going to go forward and track him a lot. I think he's a lot tougher than the singular knockout by Rohan Polanco may suggest too. Now, let me see if this is a 10-round fight or not. If this is a 10-round fight or a 12-round fight, this is going to make the difference for me here. In my, because I'm going to clip this and just post it as a short prediction. This is a 10-round fight. Now, while I think Albert Bell is a country miles away a better fighter, and again, Albert Bell has a lot more pop. Like if you go look at his Josek Rios fight, he dropped Josek Rios multiple times in that fight, but it came down to his showboatingness where he was dancing all over the place. Man, he has a really sick pop uppercut too as well, where he's showboating and dancing all over the place instead of going and finishing the guy. Albert Bell has that Ben Whitaker-ness to him to where he could finish a lot more opponents than he goes out there and does, but he has that slow style. I'm a showboat, slow cook you, and then I don't have the greatest killer instinct to him. So the question really comes down to, does Albert Bell style on him, drop Keith Hunter a few times, and then wait his way to a decision like he's done multiple times? Or does he drop him, step his foot on the gas, and actually hurt him? Well, I'll tell you what. If your book offers Albert Bell at plus money via knockout, you take it. I think this kind of comes down to an odds play. If you get anything for Albert Bell via knockout, plus 150, plus 180, which we probably won't because Rohan Polanco put a real hellacious ass whooping on Keith Hunter. His eye was swollen shut. He was taking punches to the body. His feet that already aren't great, that he crosses, doesn't seem to have the greatest leg shape in general. We're going out on him almost every punch with Rohan Polanco. Rohan Polanco was really banging his head back. So I think Albert Bell by knockout is probably very live. And what I'm hoping is that these books see the 9 knockouts of the 27 wins, and then they give us the knockout at good plus money. So if we get any props by Albert Bell tomorrow, and if we get Albert Bell props at plus money tomorrow, y'all, let's, as a Breaking Bad boxing community, cash on an Albert Bell knockout plus money prop. If we don't get it at plus money, I don't know if I'm necessarily overly confident to put it as a parlay piece, but I like it as a straight bet. I like it as a plus money straight bet. Albert Bell, man, he's really good class. He was signed to Top Rank. He signed with Overtime Boxing a few times. And it just really sucks that he's not signed with a major promotion because, again, 27-0, maybe it's the 9 knockouts of the term, but he has a great style, great feet. You know, I don't love when he exits the pocket with his hands down, but he never exits in a straight line. He has all of the makings of a world-class fighter besides maybe the gears. He has a little bit of what I'm going to start calling Raymond Ford syndrome. Raymond Ford, who I think can be a world-class well, he's already been a world champion, but I think can be a multiple-time world champion, but he doesn't have the gears, and he has too many lulls of inactivity or negative fighting. So I know it sounds like a knock on Raymond Ford. Technically, I'm giving him praise because I think he can be way better than he is. And Albert Bell's one of those people too, man. I think if he stepped his foot on the gas when he hurts his opponents, he could have a far better knockout to win ratio. And he's older, man. If I'm not mistaken, he's 31, 32 years old. He's 32 years old. His prime may be there. He may be either at the peak of his prime or it's just fading past him. So now or never. Now or never. Give me Albert Bell by knockout. I'll take Albert Bell by knockout, especially in the twilight time of his career. So you guys have any questions or anything you want to discuss, let me know. I see there's only a few live viewers in here. If you got to catch the Alifa Nur Tehran breakdown and the Aida breakdown, let me know, especially if you made a little bit of cash off it. That'd be sick to let me know. Yeah, I'm looking into already. I've done a little bit of Lester Mobility tape, nothing too crazy. I was diving into Albert Bell and Keith Hunter today so I could get this kind of, I guess, snippet live breakdown, as you can call it. Like I said, I'll go snippet. Just drop it as a quick one. Probably won't even name it as an official breakdown. I'll probably name it something like quick breakdown, something of that nature. But yeah, it was a successful morning. We have college football back, which, you know, I love me some college football. Cashed on University of South Florida. Y'all, I know this is a boxing channel, but just a quick little tad bit on college football betting on the opening week of college football. If you have a team that gets a top 25 transfer portal like USF, and you have a team like Boise State that's lost over 5 starters on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, that's Boise State, and you get USF at 2-1 odds, you take the team with the top 25 transfer portal and the lesser known commodity just outright. So just a little something to go off on a tangent there. But yeah, light boxing weekend, misfit boxing. Like, come on, what are we doing here? I will never tape any of that, but I can tell you what, as a fan of Tony Ferguson, not really as a human, I think he's a piece of shit human from what I understand, but as a fan of him as a fighter, I wouldn't doubt if he gets absolutely knocked out and face planted in this fight. Salt Poppy hits like a motherfucker, and I will say, he had some good combination punching for a quote-unquote content creator and YouTuber. So don't be surprised if Tony Ferguson, who has zero chin, and someone that relied on his chin far too much in his MMA career, who's now shot and gone and has never had good hands. Tony Ferguson has never had good hands, always lapsed and defensively void, just horrendous. Yeah, don't be surprised if Tony Ferguson gets face planted. And if they do offer odds on that Salt Poppy knockout, you smash that shit. That's like, which is so dumb. I know, like, I can't believe I'm giving out an exhibition bet, but that's a smash spot. They haven't offered anything from what I understand on USA books. I'm going to have to go look right now to check to make sure I'm not tripping. So, but yeah, man. We also have two as well. Oshaki Foster versus Stephen Fulton announced. Now, this is a little bit interesting. I find it interesting that Stephen Fulton in the last 2 years have jumped from 122, as we knew his fight with Inoue was going to be his last fight at 122. Then he jumped up to 126, had 2 pretty good fights, you know, claimed pretty good fight, claimed a world champion against Brandon Figueroa. And now he's jumping to 130 against Oshaki Foster. Good scrap, keeps the door open for Raymond Ford versus Anthony Kakache, which, you know, I love that fight. I also would like to see Raymond Ford versus Mark Magsagallo. Don't even slaughter me on my horrendous pronunciation, y'all. Magsagallo. Mark Magsagallo. I fucking love that dude. I'm not great at name pronunciation. If you see my breakdowns, you know that for sure. But yeah, Stephen Fulton versus Oshaki Foster is a good fight at 130, man. Stephen Fulton never runs from smoke. Always runs to the smoke, no tune-ups, straight to that. But man, he is going to have a size discrepancy because Oshaki Foster's not necessarily a small 130-pounder either. Honestly, I think Stephen Fulton can win that fight. I'm leaning Stephen Fulton in that fight, quite frankly. I've never been overly blown away by Oshaki Foster. His Conceição fights have never left me with too much thoughts of him being a true world-class fighter, even though he is a world champion. And even the Abraham Nova fight, where when I was watching it live, I had Abraham Nova winning. But then, of course, when you rerun the tape, it's like, ugh, he kind of smoked Abraham Nova in that case. So I'm early leaning Stephen Fulton over Oshaki Foster. That's an early lean, of course, you know, pre-tape read. But I think Stephen Fulton can go up, jump up, and be a 3-division world champion. How badass would that be? 122, 126, and 130? And I don't knock his Brandon Figueroa win, quite frankly. That's before we knew Brandon Figueroa wasn't, you know, I mean, I've never rated Brandon Figueroa overly high in class, but he's always been someone that people had never necessarily ran to the smoke for. People never ran to the door to fight a Brandon Figueroa. And Stephen Fulton made easy work of him, man. Made easy work of him with one of the sickest fight kits we've ever seen of all time. One of the sickest fucking fight kits we've ever seen of all time. I also like listening to Stephen Fulton speak. When he speaks, he's someone that I listen to, man. He just seems like someone that's thoughtful with what he says, something I need to get better at because I'm a rambler, as y'all know. I mean, look at, just been rambling here. So, yeah, man, I'm a fan of Stephen Fulton. Pre-tape, I lean him over Oshaki Foster. Again, I've never been overly high on Oshaki Foster, and I've always been pretty high on the class of Stephen Fulton. Again, I think that's Inoue's peak win. I think that's Inoue's peak win. I think Nonito Donaire was just slightly at the end of his powers on the second win and even the first fight with Inoue. And Stephen Fulton is just that win that I just highly rate on the cusp of them all. So Maloney win was really of class too as well. So was that the jean shorts? Mike Ross, what up, my boy? Yeah, that was the jean shorts and the Timberland fight kit. So fucking sick. I went into work that day and a lot of, casual fans, fools that really don't watch boxing in my work. And I just showed everybody, bro. It was the man. So you're the man, bro. LOL, you good, bro. Appreciate your delivery. It's one of one. Hey, Chris, I appreciate that, man. For real. Thank you very much, man. All I can do really is, like I said, I'm just one fight fan talking to other fight fans here. And it's pretty funny, man. I really just started this channel just to have an outreach of different fight fans to talk to, man. It's nice to give me a chance to break down tape that I do anyways for my own crib, for my own betting study, and just kind of give it out to you guys a little bit too as well. I mean, if I'm going to try to make plays on it, if I can make plays on it, may as well pass on the knowledge to you. Knowledge is literally useless if I can't pass it on to someone else. It's literally useless at that point, in my opinion. Yeah, Mike, that fight kit was... It's as good as it gets with that fight kit, bro. Like, this man went to someone and said, yo, I want custom 10 fucking fight shoes and some jean fight shorts. And they looked amazing. They looked crisp. Fuck, what a fight kit, man. It's a one-of-one fight kit by definition, to quote my boy Chris right now. You've been on the money with your insight. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. I hope to continue to be on the money with it. Really, it's not about how hot you start. It's about how we can kind of go. When it comes to betting, right? I've never been a high unit gambler per se, or a high roller gambler or anything of that nature. But I do like to bet on fights that I'm overly confident in. I may put a little bit more of a hammer. So it's all about, for me, just staying consistent. If we can win more than we can lose, then I'm pretty happy. And a lot of the bets I give out, I always try to give out a prop every single video. Giving out a prop can kind of shoot you in the foot, especially like, for example, Yanquiel Rivera. This is one fight I'm going to scratch off the tape. Yanquiel Rivera versus Cordova. How can any tape that I watch prepare me for a grimy, wrestling, hugging MMA fight in the boxing ring? Which, I love MMA. I'm a grappler, if y'all don't know. Not very high level. I'm a BJJ blue belt. I love grappling. But what the fuck? Yanquiel Rivera versus Angelino Cordova was literally damn near trying to play judo and Greco-Roman wrestling in a boxing ring. Zero tape I could have studied could have amounted that. The only thing it could have done was given us that knockdown prop. The only thing, which is at plus money. But, like, it was just insane. That was not a boxing match. That was just a barn brawl. That was just a bar brawl. These fools were just like two drunk Theos going at it. Like, I have no clue what the hell that was, bro. Props to anyone that bet the draw live. I was just sitting there in shock that fight was going to go the distance. I'm not going to lie, man. I was overly confident in Yanquiel Rivera getting that knockout. And it just made me feel so stupid watching that fight, because it felt like no amount of tape could have prepared me for what we saw there at that point. I thought Yanquiel was going to set traps all night and run him into left hooks. And yet he didn't plant his feet. He didn't try to box at all. And anytime that he was shook, he would hold. What was crazy to me is that he was the one initiating the holding in the later rounds of the fight. It just kind of blew me away. What a weird night of fight. Yeah, that cut absolutely changed things. I also alluded that Angelino Cordova, with the opposite stances, of course, you're always going to get the possibilities of the clashes. But dude, Angelino Cordova, what is that quote unquote footwork? It's just one of those things, man, where it's like, damn. It was, I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know if Yanquiel maybe isn't of the class that I thought he was, but I thought Yanquiel was going to be of true class. What's interesting now is that we have Alicia Baumgardner too as well. This is also one thing I wanted to bring up in this live stream, is that Alif Nur-Tehran that won this morning via knockout over the French woman, Rami Aida. She should fight Alicia Baumgardner next, because that was the WBA interim super flyweight title, or super featherweight title. Alicia Baumgardner is the actual champ at WBA, and I believe she's unified with WBC, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong there. You guys can fact check me. So you now have Alif, who has one of the most interesting, quote unquote, boxing styles in all of boxing. She walks you forward with zero defense like a zombie, throws sweeping left hooks, chopping overhand rights and right hooks, and just tries to beat you down without any real technique and boxing acumen. But holy shit, can she punch? You can tell when you saw the French woman's Rima's face today. Rima, before she got dropped, her face was beat up, bro. She was looking like she was getting battered. And what was up with that ref, y'all? That ref clearly had the over on that fight, clearly had Rima money line. She took a point on some bullshit saying that she was punching with her wrist. Rima's turning her head, getting turned sideways with these punches, talking about punching with her wrist. Then on top of that, she gave her a 17 fucking second count. You good? Yeah, you're good. And then let Rima take a hellacious ass whooping from then on, hoping that homegirl punched herself out to where she had to force the stoppage. It was just absolutely insane. Yeah, Alif hits hard as hell for a female. That sweeping left hook is a really good weapon, man, because it covers a lot of distance. And even though she doesn't set it up whatsoever, if you saw the clip I posted on Twitter, I don't know if you have me on Twitter or not. I posted a clip on Twitter of her throwing the same exact combination 3 times against Shauna Brown, where she throws an overhand right, sweeping left hook, catches it 1 time. She goes, hell yeah. Throws it again, misses, steps off just barely to an angle and throws it again, overhand right, sweeping left hook. And that's where she actually dropped Shauna Brown. She just loves that sweeping left hook. It covers so much ground with her long arms too as well. So it's a powerful fucking punch. I think Alicia Bumgarner boxes circles around her. I have to be completely honest with you. But Alicia Bumgarner, I don't think's ever been in there with someone that maybe punches like that. And Alicia Bumgarner, one thing too as well, is we have seen her get rattled from pressure. So that ref was absolutely home cooking. That French, that's why you really have a tough time betting on these French against the French fighters, because home cookings with the ref, home cooking with the judges, just home cooking all around, man. Some good old fucking gumbo in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Hold up, y'all. I need to grab some water. I'm cotton out from help. Holy hell. All right. I feel so much better with that water now. This is why you don't smoke fat bowls before your live stream and don't go to your desk without a cup of water. It's just a rookie mistake on my end. Absolute rookie mistake. And I should have even filled up my water even more. So I've been thinking about how about certain fighters, how we don't see certain styles anymore in boxing, right? I kind of brought up Thomas Hearns earlier. Tommy Hearns, purely on that pistol jab, bounce on his toes, long, mean the way he throws his punches and straight punches, but it's just like a straight bread and butter fighter, right? We really don't see that from anybody at the highest level anymore. And is it because boxing has evolved so much? Or is it just because athleticism has caught up with fighters? We really don't see the Finito Lopez's anymore, who just will turn you around the ring all night and same side punch you to death. Like Finito Lopez used to put opponents in a blender. If you're looking for an old school OG boxer to go watch, bro, Finito fucking Lopez, man. Finito fucking Lopez. That's so, if you guys don't know, Finito Lopez is my favorite boxer of all time. If you've never checked out Ricardo Finito Lopez, please do yourself a favor. He's 51-0 Mexican champ, 38 of those by knockout against some good guys too, bro. Like he has wins against good guys. Rosendo Alvarez, Alex Sanchez is my favorite performance ever by him, bro. He put Alex Sanchez in a fucking blender that night. Alavia Moore, bro. If you've seen fucking his Jorge Vargas fight, bro, like Finito Lopez was just art. By the definition, bro, he was just art in the ring, man. So if you have a chance, you can just play a whole bunch of his old fights on YouTube. It's always fun to watch fights in like these grainy visions, almost like you're watching them on a VHS. I love to see guys like Finito Lopez, Thomas Hearns. You know, I love good old Tommy, of course. Salvi Sanchez. Fucking hell, mate. Man, those guys are just different, bro. Those guys are different. Costa Zoo was fucking awesome to watch. Awesome to watch. Incredible style, man. I'm just kind of just going, just kind of ranting here now. I just realized about it, but man, these old school fighters. I just don't think we see not Costa not included. I just don't think we see styles like the Finito Lopez's and the Tommy Hearns anymore. And I think maybe that bread and butter style just doesn't necessarily work because you have to have so many gears and levels. But man, I just love those throwback fighters, man. Just thinking about it. Oh, water, as Mick Jenkins says, drink more water or you might die. Yeah, my dog in a way right now is staring at me like, dog, what the hell are we doing? Let's go do something. I'm about to get off of here soon, y'all. I appreciate you guys jumping in on this live here for you. Do you guys have any final thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, or fights you want me to break down upcoming in the comments? Let me know here. I'm going to stay on for another minute or so before I get on out of here. See if you guys have anything you want me to check out. But if you are still here, if you could hit the like button, I'm one subscriber away from 200. So even if you could share it to a homie that maybe likes a little bit of boxing content, maybe likes to make a little bit of money, that would be absolutely awesome and incredible. If not, I completely understand. It's not y'all job. But again, if you guys ever have any specific fights you want to break down or want me to tape and check out for you, please message me, leave a comment. Let me know. I'm always checking my Breaking Bad boxing stuff, so I'm always here to check it out. That way I can start my tape breakdown as early as possible for you. I'm going to clip my very small little Albert Bell versus Keith Hunter breakdown. I won't really call it a breakdown. I'll really just call it a quick clip, I guess you can say. So if you guys want to check that out, please feel free to if you weren't here earlier. With that being said, as always, y'all, love, peace, chicken grease. Your boy Breaking Bad Boxing here from Arizona. I hope you guys have a great day. And if you're a believer in Christ, God bless. Later.